The second type of decision making, in addition to the rational, is non-rational decision making. Non-rational does not mean that it's not predictable. We have found ways in which we are predictably irrational. There is an excellent book called Predictably Irrational by Dan O'Reilly. And if you have the time as well, I would encourage you to read that book. It elaborates on a lot of different non-rational processes that we're going to talk about here. So there are two different models that explain non-rational decision. One is called the normative model. And what it says is that we are guided by bounded rationality, is that we try to be as rational as possible, but within the constraints that are set for us. These constraints, or what things that limit us, could be resources, it could be things like time, money, cost, or it could be our personal attributes, is that we can't, take in all of this information at the same time. So we seek manageable amounts of information rather than complete or optimal amounts. Okay, so one of the things that, as I said before, might be the constraint could be time, right? So I have to make a decision within the next day or two on how I can turn around sales for my company during Christmas time. Well, you will be guided by bounded rationality here. You'll collect as much information as possible from your retailers. Try to talk to them, okay, what's happening here? Let's say, what do you think we should do? Okay, prices are too high. Okay, let me go and reduce prices. So it results in satisficing. Satisficing means we come up with the best possible solution given the information that we have on hand. There is another model which is called the intuition-based non-rational decision making, in which we base our decisions on our intuition. Okay? And intuition means that we come up with a specific set of decisions that come to our mind, but we don't really know where they came from. Okay? So we say that something like mother's intuition. Well, she knows what's best for her kids based on her feelings and her emotions. So what guides our intuition? Where what guides it is our tacit and explicit knowledge. Tacit knowledge is knowledge that we cannot really express in words. Right? So when you go to another country, knowledge of the local market and what works well, how customers respond to certain marketing mix, the language, how you should engage people, whether you should stand close, far away, the touching that is allowed, all of that, is tacit knowledge. You can't really write it in a manual. Explicit knowledge could be, let's say, a certain machine, and in order to operate the machine, you need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's knowledge that we can easily express and codify and write down. All of this serves as, an input to intuition. Someone who has been working, let's say, in sales for several years, has experience with different clients and how to deal with them. That's more of a tacit knowledge over there, right? How to deal with certain invoices, write down, do certain calculations when it comes to sales. That's more of an explicit knowledge that's easy to teach. All of this will feed into an intuitive process along with your feelings. Do you feel good about a certain situation or not? It will all feel into the intuition and finally lead to two forms of outcomes. Either automated experiences, like driving. Driving is more of an automated experience. Okay, what should I do? Left, right. I feel that I'm going in the right direction. You don't need to think about every specific action that you take when driving. However, holistic hunch is more of, my gut tells me, that I should do that. Okay, so this is another way in which we also make decisions, is based on our intuition. Well, the pros and cons, it's useful when we have a quick decision that is required. As I said, when we have a quick decision that we need to make because of the holiday season, that is good because all of the experience, the tacit and explicit knowledge will feed into that. You will come to make a decision. You don't know really why you made that decision. It's hard to justify. but because of all your previous experience, you can really make that decision, and it could be a really good one. However, cons, it's really susceptible to bias, because you don't really know how you made that decision, so you might be biased, and we'll talk about the different types of biases in the next slide. Okay, so when making a decision, bounded rationality often prevails, involving all of the following except A, satisficing, B, the rational model, C, intuition, time constraints, or financial constraints. If you said B, the rational model, then you're right. Bounded rationality means that we're limited by our constraints, which could be time, financial, and that leads ultimately to satisficing, not leading to the best solution, but an acceptable or solution that does not really consider all of the possible alternatives.